Hello and welcome to our Presentation Honors Semester project. This project was done by Candace, Annabelle, Bruna, and myself, Andrew. And our project for semester was Hidden Gems, which then became Cope Together, done on Facebook. And in this presentation, we'll be discussing and analyzing what we did during this project, including our goals, strategies, methods, and problems we have encountered throughout the course of this project. At the start of the project, we recognized the problem that most DI students have never been to Copenhagen and that they were consistently looking for things to do to make the most out of their study abroad experience. So we decided to settle on focusing on the hidden gems concept. So that is looking at aspects of Copenhagen that may not be as well known. And we created the page with the goal in mind of people sharing what they consider to be hidden gems to give people ideas of what to do for the day or for their upcoming weekend. So our page was open to a wide range of topics, including topics such as restaurants, entertainment venues, public spaces, and places to study. However, with the sudden change in our environment with the pandemic, we had to switch our project over to Cope Together. And Cope Together was similar to Hidden Gems as it was offering a place where students can share how they've been coping with social distancing and how to take advantage of the situation they're in, as opposed to what we could do in Copenhagen while we're here studying abroad for upcoming months. And to do this, we would encourage posting of activities on what we're doing during social distancing and how we're staying in contact with friends and family despite having to be far apart. So throughout the Hidden Gems portion of the project, we saw a flow of posts and comments by both us and members of the page. People were sharing their hidden gems. Additionally, people also used the page to ask questions to find things to do or places that serve specific functions. So as you see here, one user asked, is there any place to develop photos? And we had a member respond, give them an answer. And you see in the bottom left post, you can go buy unique clothes, t-shirts, and accessories. Additionally, we also coined the term HiddenHagen for members to use. And for Cope Together, the engagement was unfortunately not as high as we would like, but people are still posting and commenting on what they are doing, such as what games they are playing or what they are cooking while practicing social distancing. So on the post to the right, here you see a post about cooking during quarantines, and you see in the bottom there's a comment from their user saying what they're making during the quarantine.
While we were still in Copenhagen, we had multiple different strategies we used to maintain audience engagement in our Facebook page. In the beginning, in order to gather members, we asked our friends in DIS to join and had them tell their friends about our page and ask them to join too. After we had a small base of members, we posted a quick introduction on our Facebook page to explain what we were about, alongside each of us admins posted a hidden gem that we had found around Copenhagen. We then went ahead and posted our trailer in the DIS Facebook group to advertise our page. Before we knew it, we had almost 300 members. We then created a schedule where each of us admin members would have a certain day to post. That way the page remained active every day of the week, sometimes multiple times a day if more than one of us decided to post a hidden gem. After a little bit of time of doing that, the audience began to naturally engage, without us having to post, which you will see in the next slide. Once we had high audience engagement, we wanted to make sure we could maintain it. So we asked our audience via poll, which you can see in the picture on the right, what they would like to see more of, so we could post content that they would be more interested in viewing, sharing, and interacting with. Throughout our project, we had a lot of different kinds of audience engagements throughout the semester. On the photo on the left, you can see a one-to-many interaction where a group member messaged in the group asking for recommendations for coffee shops. All of us admins always tried to respond to every post just to make sure that everyone was getting engagement. So you can see underneath that Candace answered to make sure that this group member would get interaction. Underneath that, though, you can see that other members of the Facebook group answered as well, making it a one-to-many post. The photo cuts off, however, the comment section became full of responses from a bunch of different group members without any of us having to facilitate the discussion. In the middle photo, we see a one-to-many post that actually turned into a one-on-one discussion between me and another group member. She wanted recommendations for a place to develop photos, so Annabelle tagged me under that, and I shared my recommendations. This turned into a one-to-one conversation between me and just the user, where we spoke about developing photos and the best places to go. On the photo on the right, you see a many-to-many from our group of admins to the Hidden Gems members. This is how we explained what the group was going to be about and tried to get the excitement going for the future of our Facebook group. Unfortunately for all of us, this semester did not go as planned. When we all had to go back to the United States, we needed to figure out a way to remain connected to our Hidden Gems community. We decided to do this by changing our topic to something that was relatable to each member, coping with this pandemic. We decided to change the focus of the group and start posting about ways that we were staying entertained, productive, and happy while we were home quarantined. Andrew made this initial post that you can see on the right about the switch of the group topic, and since then we've remained posting on a schedule and sharing our ideas, whether it be a cooking recipe, a video game we like, Netflix show, book recommendations, and the list goes on. We found out by doing this, although audience engagement has slowed since we've been back home due to all of us being in different time zones and having different things going on, that we've remained connected to one another by coping together.
Our Facebook group was created on the 31st of January, and the first post went active on the 12th of February. We were able to amass approximately 240 members of our virtual community from 31st of January to 11th March, which was the day of the program cancellation, which was when we began moving into phase 2. All members of this virtual community were associated with DIS by some regards, and were either introduced to the group via peer recommendation or via advertising through other group pages or group chats related to DIS. The exponential growth of our audience and their exposure to our content in the introductory stages of our page was imperative to the initial successes we saw. Because within the first month of our campaign, a total of 206 people had already joined the group. Along with this influx of members comes increased activity. And within this phase of the campaign, we were able to see that almost 80% of the content produced, so the posts, the comments, and the reactions on this page, had already taken place. Overall, there were 26 posts, 37 comments, and 255 reactions over the course of our campaign. Posts with visual attachments or audio attachments, as well as posts that had conversations happening in the comments, were attractive to a large subculture of people. And that, in addition to using Facebook as the primary medium of communication, are two communication campaign strategic choices that we as a group would definitely consider for future campaigns. Some insights we were able to take away based on our users are that the feelings towards our communication strategies and the successes of our campaign are very reflective and receptive of the cultural happenings of a time. Some notable traits of the users of HiddenHagen or Hidden Gems / Cope Together was that as Hidden Gems, Wednesday mornings to early afternoons, which were primarily our field study times, were noted as days of peak popularity and interest. The collective feeling of searching for a sense of belonging in a new place gave people an incentive of some sort to search for and build communities in platforms like ours. The relatability of the administrator's tone and the passion were also effective in gaining more feedback to the interest of the groups. But our shared feeling of, or our shared experience of isolation, although mutual, is not the most mobilizing, and that is also very obvious in the insights that we've noted from phase 2, or the second half of our social media campaign.
Moving on to our main takeaways from the project. Starting with what we did right, we kept a constant schedule in terms of posting content in order to keep our page active and as well create a comfortable space for people to post their contributions and questions. We also put Jenkins and Green's theory regarding spreadable media and the power of the friendship-based network into good use, and were able to gain momentum by requesting friends to share their experiences in the group to help lay the foundation for more communication. The use of polls in the Facebook group helped us to better strategize what the audience preferred to see and found helpful. Going to possible improvements, we could have made more efforts to engage the community in conversations through questions or challenges, and we could have also had more hidden and underground elements in our content. We could have also distributed our initial survey to get a better idea of our audience, but time wasn't on our side. We could have also made better use of our collaboration with the Instagram group in order to help share content and grow our audience. Time in general was a limiting factor for our project, especially transitioning into Cope Together. In terms of hidden gems, I think our project was a slowly blooming flower that would have really grown with time. Reflections for the future. We could tap into other Danish international student communities on Facebook to help grow the audience regarding hidden gems as well as Cope Together, because we have a shared experience in both phases. We could also have regular challenges to engage the community and foster activity. And we could also not only rely on posts from ourselves and people in our community, but also share relevant content from other related pages. This project was generally successful while it was running, and I think it shows that social media has the power to bring a lot of people together and create conversations that wouldn't have been made otherwise.